Welcome back, everyone. I am the Depressed Eeyore, and this is Kingdom Death Monster. So, sorry I didn't have two of these videos last week. I'm kind of going to go ahead and cut back to one a week, and essentially every day I'll have probably a different game going. Mainly to change things up, and there's some things I do want to focus more on, and also I'm being a little burnt out of this game, and also I've been playing Madara. So, with all that said and done, someone did point out a mistake I had on my gear grid for the Watcher fight, which was I didn't actually have these connections for the Lantern Greaves to get the +2 movement, so I was running around with -2 movement on Ringo. It's an easy enough fix. All I had to do was bring the Monster Tooth Necklace and then bring some Bone Darts, and that would have taken care of the connections. But then I would have to either choose to bring a Beacon Shield or just go with an herb. Either way, you saw how the fight went. Ringo was not the deciding factor for that fight. With all that said and done, you might notice there's some new faces. We're going to be going up against level 3 Butcher, which I'm just going to point out that the level 3 Butcher is invincible. His newest trait is Invincible. The Butcher is invincible. When the Butcher is wounded, roll 1d10. On an 8+, the wound roll fails. So even if you wound this thing, 30% chance that it will not wound him. As for how many wounds this guy has, he has a whopping 21. In fact, when I looked at the deck of cards that I was going to be drawing from, there are 10 advanced and 11 basic, and he needs all of them. So literally, all I have to do is do this, and his deck is done. Shuffle. Now, you might be wanting, as for other things, his movement's still 5. He's one of the few whose movement doesn't increase, but he does have +2 speed, +2 damage. He also has +2 accuracy. So needless to say, this thing is going to hurt us quite a bit. Everything else is pretty standard. He has Indomitable, just like all level 3s, which means he gets up after you hit him if he's been knocked down. We won't have to worry about that, because he's not ever going to be knocked down, because we're never going to hit him. I think he only has 15 toughness, which is not the worst, but it can be pretty rough for new characters. I mean, the characters we're using right now only have 3 strength. So, using like a standard weapon... Speaking of, this person has no weapon equipped. Oh, it's probably because I dragged it off. Well, technically she has a shield. This person also has no weapons equipped. Neat. In fact, that's actually an idea. None of you will have weapons. Except you can have a sword. There you go, one person will have a sword. Okay. So you might be wondering why I'm bringing a bunch of newbies and all that stuff, and you might be thinking I'm trying to sacrifice them. And you will only be partially correct. We are in Lantern Year 23. 30 is essentially the last encounter. So it's really just going to be a race to get to Lantern Year 30. I have like a population of some amount. I kind of lost track, but essentially this all here is what we have left. And more than likely we will not be able to beat the Butcher. And not beating the Butcher will mean that we're going to lose every resource that is in our settlement storage. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and take care of that. Everything that can be made into something, I'm going to make into something. So these herbs are going to become fresh acanthus, or dried acanthus. That we'll use later. We'll just add it to the settlement storage. As long as it's not a resource, it can stay in settlement storage. But I'm just going to put it there for now. Also, we now have to equip lanterns, so everyone has a lantern equipped, including and someone has to take the final lantern. So I have that equipped as well. We'll make a cat eye circle out of this cat eye. We're going to go ahead and make frenzy drink out of the lion testes. We're going to make blood paint out of the bladders. So 2 blood paints. Cat eye circlet. And we'll make our first frenzy drink. Alright, Frenzy Drink. Sorry for the mess on the board. Okay, so we got all that. Is there anything else that I care to make? The rest of it's mostly bone. I'll take the 2 organs here, the muscly gums and the screaming brain, and I'm going to make, what's it called? Monster grease. We're going to make 2 monster grease out of it. And one's going to go here. And one will go over here. Alright. How do I want... Is there any way I can make another green connection? Not really. Well, I can, but it'll require me to lose the shield. No, actually, it's impossible. The only way I can make it happen would be to connect. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to get the connections. That's kind of interesting. Alright, well, you still get +1 evasion. That's better than nothing. Alright, anything else I want to make? We can make band-aids. Let's make some bandages. You know, long after we actually need them. So I'll make some bandages. Just throw them in here. I'm not taking the scavenger kit because it's completely worthless. And that leaves all these bugs that I can't really use. And a whole lot of bones. I can make a bunch of skull helmets, but I really don't. I already have some, and I don't really need them. And I don't really need any of the bones. So I think that'll be it. As for what we have Kasumi. These are some of the characters we picked up rather early on, and there's, as you'd probably tell from their stats, Kasumi does have a reroll. Everyone except for Yamame will end up with max survival at the start of the showdown. Either because of their armor sets or some other things. Kasumi is going to be running around with the rawhide set and a scrap sword. Doesn't really matter. We're not going to be fighting. We're just going to be running. Clown piece. It's got the whole the lantern set actually properly set up this time. She does have axe proficiency, and that's about it for her. Yamame has a reroll, bow proficiency. Only 8 survival. It's going with the screaming set. She also has 4 insanity because of that. I've already taken care of all the departing stuff from the shrine and all that, so we're good to go on that. Junko is carrying the final lantern, has axe proficiency, reroll, going with leather with a shield. And that's pretty much it. That's what we're looking at right now. So at this point, we don't actually have a monster controller anymore. What we have is that weird like correlation ability type stuff that we can do. I don't plan on using it. I'm just going to get to the end here. Which probably means I'm not going to be doing any fancy innovations or anything like that, because I think you need 2 of everything to actually do the... I think you have to have 2 of everything to do lantern research. I'll check it real quick. That's blackout. Oh, sure. That page is actually in order. Okay. Was it L? Lantern research. Yeah, you have to do 2 of each. So it's twice as expensive as a standard innovation. Anything else? Yeah, okay. And it looks like we don't lose if we fail or anything like that, so that's good. Alright, so with that being said, I have to set up along the bottom, just like always. We get the stone columns, so let's go ahead and get those up and running. Two spaces away. We have 2 acanthus plants. I just put them in the corners because there's no point in looting them, because if we do get anything, it will just end up being destroyed. And of course we got the butcher facing downward, and we have to be along the bottom. Got all that. And I need to draw a terrain card. So we'll draw 1 terrain card. Tall grass. Okay. Well, that's somewhat useful. Here, we're just going to put them randomly in some places. There you go. Tall grass. More likely, I'm just going to be running anyway, so it is what it is. So, I mentioned that these are half sacrifices. we have Pictograph, and Pictograph gives us the ability to do the story event called Run Away. We can do this during the hunt or showdown phase. It has its own story stuff depending on which one you do it from. And at the start of a survivor's act, they may decide to skip their action and just run. And that's what we're going to be doing. That is going to be our fight. For this fight, the survivors are defending their home, so they go first, so we go first. And the first thing we're going to be trying to do is trying to run away. So, run away. Alright, so got that up and running. This thing is a frenzied berserker now, so he's going to be acting 3 times around. I think that's really the only other thing, though I think we fought something that had that before, so yeah, draw +2 AI cards every turn. Alright, so with all that said and done, let's get started. So, last person to leave will be the person with the final lantern. I don't think it really matters if they run away. Usually, the only time it matters if someone falls with the final lantern is before a showdown. If it's before a showdown, someone else has to pick it up, even if it means discarding. So I'm just checking a few last things, just to make sure I'm ready to do this. We are. Let's do it. Okay. So we're gonna start with we'll start with Kasume. This will be a very uninteresting fight because, well, I think I can show the page. I don't know if it's different. Let's find out. Runaway. So here's the image for Runaway. Looks as cheerful as you may expect. And let's see if it's any different. Something pulls into you in the darkness, you die. They are different. So essentially, this is what the tables look like. But this is from 1.0. 1.1 has changed all of this, except for the 1s and 10s. It looks like. So we're just gonna roll, and I will tell you what I find because I have the book in front of me. All right. So like I said, Kasume goes first. I roll 1d10 on the showdown phase. Hey everyone. I put a break here because I actually ended up restarting the fight, not because of any sort of rage quitting or, it going poorly. I have no stake in this fight. Whether these people live or die is not a huge deal to me. But I screwed up a lot of the rules involving the butcher, and eventually got to the point where I was like, I pretty much had to restart the fight if I wanted to actually keep things legit. It honestly wouldn't make a difference, but I wanted to at least do it correctly for this particular fight. Because, like I said, it doesn't matter if they live or die. It's just I need to make sure this goes the way it's supposed to go. So, started over. I think everything's been reset. I had a bunch of disorders and stuff for various reasons that will become clear. Those have been cleared. Okay. I'll go ahead and shuffle this one more time. Call it good. Shuffle disorder deck because we're going to be using it. I'm not going to worry about the hit location deck because I'm never attacking. So, every turn, the butcher should be doing stuff for this. And I'm going to put the Horripilation... Okay, Horripilation starting here like it should have been. Okay. So, Runaway, what it does is literally we give up our turn. So, I'm just going to go in order. Well, not in order, but I'm going to go and Junko will be last. Everyone else will take turns doing it. You can probably see there's a bunch of dice rolls in here. Like I said, I made a bunch of mistakes that required me to essentially rewind so much that I might as well just start the fight over. The main thing I forgot about was Infectious Lunacy, which actually kind of makes things easier overall. Because, needless to say, a lot of the results for Runaway ends up getting you knocked down, which has some interesting effects when your entire group is knocked down against the butcher. So, Kasume will go first, rolls 1d10. 2. In a desperate scramble, you trip, falling... Oh, actually, I need to bring back that Dridacanthus. Sorry about that. Alright. So, roll the 2. In your desperate scramble, you trip, falling awkwardly on a jagged piece of terrain. You are knocked down and suffer a severe injury to a random hit location. So this is Kasume. Kasume does have a reroll. I'm going to go ahead and... Actually, I will not pop it this time. I'll let the Dridacanthus absorb the severe injury, and she'll be knocked down. Okay. which is a little unfortunate because I'm pretty sure Kasume is the one person that actually. Well, no, Kasume. In my previous thing, Kasume died immediately, and I think it was Yamame that managed to escape in the first round. But speaking of, let's change the order here to actually be right. We'll do Clown Piece next. Actually, it was Clown Piece that died immediately. Kasume actually escaped eventually. So good luck, Clown Piece. 4. So yeah, the issue with Clown Piece is she doesn't have a reroll. Alright, so Clown Piece 4. You try to run, but instead crumple over with a disheartening yelp. You are knocked down. All survivors lose 2 survival. So our survival is going to quickly not matter in a second. Let's go ahead and zoom in a bit. Alright, so everyone's going to lose 2 survival. I believe everyone's survival has been reset properly. Yep, it has. Okay. And then it goes to Yamame. So 1d10. 6. Something attacks you, suffer the broken leg or broken arm, severe injuries, and return to the settlement in shame. Okay. So, in her case, she does have a Dry Decanthus. So she suffers both of these injuries. I think we have fixes for both of them. I think Bed fixes. It could break. Bed can fix broken arm, so I'm going to go ahead and use the Acanthus to deal with the broken leg and get broken armed. So... Alright, so essentially it's about a 50-50 chance that you'll actually escape, though 40% of that, about 4 out of 5 of those of that 50-50 ends up being bad stuff that happens to you on your way escaping. So Yamame escapes. Last time she escaped with a disorder, this time she escapes with a broken arm. So let's go ahead and pull up broken arm real quick. Broken arm... suffer -1 permanent accuracy, -1 permanent strength. The injury is permanent, can be recorded twice, gain 1 bleed token. Alright, I'm not going to worry about the bleed token, but the -1 strength. Is it accuracy and strength? Yep, -1 strength and accuracy. Yep. And we'll note that you have a broken arm. Could have been much worse. Alright, so she's out. And now the last one is Junko. Good luck, Junko. 1d10. 2. So she is going to get, essentially, trip over herself and suffer random severe injury. So Dry Decanthus will get absorbed, and she'll be knocked down. Alright, something to note about the Horripilation card, because we no longer have a monster controller, we have Horripilation, or whatever it's called, that gets passed around. It does get passed around to players that don't have survivors on the board. So even though Yamame escaped, it will still pass on to her I believe it's supposed to go counterclockwise, but I'm going clockwise. And in the case of it's the same case if like your survivor dies during combat or something like that, you'll still get the card and won't be able to do anything with it. All right, so Butcher's turn, and I've already shuffled. So the key thing here is a lot of these require threats. Oh, well, except for this one. Butcher's Roar. All non-survivors roll 1d10 for each target. On a 4+, they suffer 1 brain damage per monster level and is knocked down. So we'll start with that. Alright, so 1d10. We'll go in the order of the tabs above. So 3d10, it'll go Kasume, Clown Piece, and then Junko. Yamame is not on the board. Alright, Kasume is safe. Clown Piece and Junko both suffer 3 brain event damage. That's going to make Clown Piece trauma. And Junko will be fine. But both of them have Infectious Lunacy, which is anytime they take a brain damage, they get a lunacy token equal to the damage. And if they get 3+, you remove them all and get Frenzy. So pretty much every time this happens, they are going to Frenzy. So first things first, though, we need to deal with Clown Piece's brain trauma. So 1d10, 8. Brain trauma. 8. Gain a random disorder and 1d5 insanity. Alright, so we'll roll 1d5 first. She gets 2. Okay. And then a random disorder. I'll shuffle first. I didn't see what it was. Prey. You are prey. You may not spend survival unless you are insane. Okay. So now she can't dodge. Or could she? So, and then they both suffer frenzy, which pretty much means they can't use survival at all. They get a bunch of tokens I'm not going to bother marking because I'm not going to be attacking. Essentially, I think the way you're supposed to fight a level 3 is just to let the frenzies happen and then just try to shred it through its immortality. But in any case, 1d5 insanity for Clown Piece again. So 2, and then for Junko, 5. So Junko will get 5. Clown Piece will get another 2. Alright, and that is resolved. Now, during any time I switch from insane to sane, I would essentially flip the card to the other final lantern. I don't know what the difference is, but it doesn't really matter. Okay. Oh yeah, it's not the Horripilation card that's getting passed around, it's the Death Die, or whatever it's called. But I'm not going to be using the Death Die, so it doesn't matter. Because I don't really have any abilities for it. Okay, well, that was card 1. Time for card 2. Screaming. When Screaming comes into play, all non-death survivors suffer 1 brain damage per monster level. At the start of the butcher's turn, all non-death survivors suffer 1 brain damage per monster level. Discard Screaming if a survivor dies. So we get that. So they're going to take 3. And then they're going to frenzy again. Should go down to 2. This time it will affect Kasume. And Kasume is going to trauma. And get her frenzy as well. So we'll do Kasume's trauma first. 4. You are knocked down and suffer a knockback equal to your movement towards the closest board edge. Okay, well she's already at the board edge. Gain 1d5 insanity. Alright, so I'll start with Kasume. 1d5 insanity for the trauma. 1d5 insanity for the frenzy. So she gets 8. $1d5 insanity for Clown Piece, because she's still alive somehow. She gets 1, which means next time it's going to trauma her. And then for Junko, she gets 2. So it's essentially going to be RNG, hoping that we get enough insanity from the frenzies that we can stay alive. Alright, that takes care of that. Then it goes to the third card. Wild Carve. Closest threat facing, there are no threats. Closest threat, there are no threats. So it is going to do Menace. Menace is turn the butcher to face the closest survivor. This survivor suffers 1 brain damage per monster level. I'm just going to have... The closest is actually Junko. So Junko is going to take 3 brain event damage. And be knocked down. Nope, just 3 brain event damage. Okay. And then she frenzies again. She gets 1... insanity. So just for shits and giggles, I mean, I suffered... This will be her 3rd frenzy, technically. Clown Piece has suffered 2 frenzies. And Kasume... Let's see, no, they both suffer that and that. Yeah, that's correct. And then Kasume has suffered 1 frenzy. I'm just going to note how many frenzies they have, just in case I have this weird desire to actually attack this thing. Alright, so it takes care of that. It is now our turn. We did fall during our turn, so we do get back up. Alright, that's round 1. Seems to be doing okay. Good news is we don't have to keep track of lunacy tokens, because it always does 3, and 3 is enough to get the frenzy. Alright, so we'll start with Kasume. Kasume will run away. So 1d10. 10. You return to the settlement in shame. No special effects. Alright, she's out. Clown Piece will go next. 1d10. 6. Something attacks you, suffer the broken leg and broken arm severe injuries. She does not have... she doesn't have a Dridecanthus equipped, so she's going to suffer both. So, what's broken leg do? No one's adjacent to her, so it doesn't matter. -1 movement, and that's it. Okay. So, -1 movement, -1 accuracy, -1 strength. Broken arm, broken leg. We'll reset their tokens. Kusame escape. So all that's left is Junko, all by herself. Junko, good luck. So 1d10 to run away. 10, run away safely. That is as good as it's gonna get. I was rolling really bad on the previous one, but that's, like I mentioned, it wasn't the reason why I reset it. I reset it because I completely forgot about Infectious Lunacy, which also would have affected my ability to dodge attacks. And the Butcher does have attacks that will still attack you even if you are knocked down, like Lantern Hunger or something. But yeah, with that we flee, and then we lost the fight, so we lose every resource that's in our settlement storage right now, which is all of this. All of this goes away. Delete. All of it's gone. Alright, so we have no resources now. And I believe that's it. I don't think we need to note anything else about the Butcher, because we ran. We don't gain experience, we don't gain anything like that. It's just going to rampage through the settlement and beat the tar out of people as people run around and break their legs. Good news is we never have to fight this guy again, so I'm just going to delete these cards. And yeah, we didn't lose anyone, so that's good. We do have some severe injuries to deal with. We can deal with the broken arm. I don't think we have a way of dealing with broken legs, unfortunately, which is a bit surprising because you figured the bed could handle that too. Nope, don't have anything for that. Yeah, Barber Surgeon doesn't handle that either. Alright. I think we're okay then. Oh, did I get I should have gotten a random disorder, shouldn't I? From... No, Flee doesn't give you a disorder. Pretty much all of them give you disorders, but Flee doesn't for some reason. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and call this a video. When we come back, we will do the settlement phase, which is going to be pretty standard. I'm probably going to be running away from all the fights just to try to get to the end at this point. There are some good things out there you can try to craft, but it's just not worth fighting level 3s over. And I have to fight level 3s now. So we're just going to keep running. That's the plan. I'll probably even take these same people and just see how far they can go. Alright, so I am the Depressed Eeyore, and this was Kingdom Death Monsters, Kingdom Death Monster, sorry, 1.5. See you guys next time.